Japan will start releasing water from the destroyed Fukushima power plant into the ocean. The government in Tokyo decided to start releasing more than 1 million tons of water into the Pacific from the destroyed nuclear power plant in Fukushima. The operation was approved by the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, and launched on Thursday, August 24. The Fukushima nuclear power plant suffered severe damage after the tsunami that hit Japan in 2011. The tsunami was caused by a powerful 9-magnitude earthquake. The tsunami wave itself was several meters high. This is the worst nuclear disaster since Chernobyl. 4 of Japan's 54 nuclear reactors shut down automatically due to the quake. At the Fukushima power plant, a core meltdown occurred in reactors 1, 2 and 3. Contaminated seawater used to cool the reactors was released into the environment. In the aftermath of the disaster, melted fuel residues got into the concrete bases of the reactor buildings. Since then, workers have been pumping water there to prevent the rubble from overheating and causing further damage. All the contaminated water was collected in one place and now fills more than 1,000 steel tanks at the Fukushima power plant site. The coolant was passed through a complex chain of filters. This purification captures 62 types of radionuclides, but not tritium, a radioactive isotope of hydrogen that occurs naturally in trace amounts in seawater and the atmosphere. Tritium is extremely difficult to remove because it replaces the hydrogen atoms in water molecules. According to experts, this isotope in small doses is not harmful to human health. The government in Tokyo had previously approved a plan to dilute the contaminated water until the concentration of tritium reached 1/40th of what Japanese authorities allow in drinking water. Experts estimate that this is the only solution and that by diluting the water, the radioactivity can be reduced to a safe level, comparable to exposure to medical imaging or air travel. Similar cooling water treatment techniques are used in other nuclear power plants around the world, including China, South Korea and the United States. After such filtration, the tritium-containing water is then released into the oceans. But in addition to tritium, more dangerous isotopes such as ruthenium, cobalt, strontium and plutonium sometimes go through the filtration process, as TEPCO, the operator of the Fukushima plant, confirmed in 2018. According to the company's previous statements, these isotopes are present in 71% of the products. Coolant tanks. Japan, despite the opposition of residents, especially representatives of the fishing industry, intends to start the discharge of water on Thursday, if only the weather does not prevent it. Not all scientists are convinced about the implemented solution either. Ken Buseler, a marine radiochemist at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, said the Japanese administration had not considered alternatives, such as adding more tanks or making cement using purified water. According to Buseler, the Japanese government wants the cheapest and fastest solution, which is a pipe to the ocean. Greenpeace also expressed its opinion. In a statement, its activists suggested that the technology used to filter the water was flawed and that the IAEA completely ignored the melted highly radioactive fuel residues that continue to pollute groundwater on a daily basis. Beijing also expressed dissatisfaction, accusing the authorities in Tokyo of treating the Pacific like a sewage system. Chinese authorities also banned imports of seafood from 10 Japanese prefectures and imposed stringent testing on food from the rest of the country. TEPCO, on the other hand, claims that their special filtering system has removed all radioactive elements, including cesium and strontium, with the exception of tritium. The company also indicates that the contaminated water was diluted to reduce the radioactivity level to 1,500 becquerels per liter, (BQ)L. well below the national safety standard of 60,000 becquerels, L, and the WHO standards of 10,000 becquerels, L. Tritium is regularly released from nuclear power plants into waterways around the world. For decades, there has been no evidence of harmful environmental or health impacts from such activities, said Tony Hooker of the University of Adelaide. The International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, said the release of water from the plant into the ocean meets international standards and will not cause any harm to the environment. Scientists have identified immortal jellyfish genes that allow you to reverse the aging process. One species of Hydra, Turritopsis dohrnii, has the unusual ability to regress from an adult to a larval stage. It can do this many times, which is why these creatures have earned the nickname immortal jellyfish. Now, Spanish scientists have discovered the genes responsible for this reversal of the aging process. This knowledge can contribute to a better understanding of the aging process itself and perhaps how to stop it. Immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, at first glance, do not differ much from their other relatives. They start life as drifting larvae known as planules. Eventually, they attach themselves to the seafloor and develop into sprout-like polyps. At this stage, they form colonies on the seabed by asexual reproduction. Then, from the polyp stage, they develop into free-floating umbrella-shaped jellyfish up to half a centimeter in size. However, what distinguishes them from other hydra is the unusual ability to reverse its life cycle. Immortal jellyfish can regress from an adult to the polyp stage when threatened. If a colony gets into trouble, one of the jellyfish can turn into a cyst similar to its original polyp, stick to the seabed in a new location, and start the whole cycle all over again. They can use this trick many times, which makes them theoretically biologically immortal, hence their nickname, immortal jellyfish. Other jellyfish species have similar abilities but lose them as they reach sexual maturity. Researchers at the Universidad de Oviedo in Spain, by comparing the genes of Turritopsis dohrnii with its mortal cousin Turritopsis rubra, have discovered how immortal jellyfish can, at least in theory, live forever. They described their findings in an article published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Spanish scientists comparing the genomes of T. dohrnii and T. rubra found no genetic trick that would be like a fountain of youth. Instead, they found that T. dohrnii had twice as many copies of genes related to DNA repair and protection. This suggests that T. dohrnii may have more efficient replication mechanisms and repair systems than other species. These duplicates can produce greater amounts of proteins with protective and regenerative properties. Researchers also found unique mutations that inhibited cell division and prevented the degradation of telomeres, the protective sheaths of chromosomes that shorten with age in other species, including humans. To determine how T. dohrnii reverts to polyp form, the researchers looked at which genes were active during this reverse metamorphosis. They found that these creatures silence developmental genes to return cells to their original state. They also activated other genes that allow nascent cells to re-specialize. All of these genes influence processes that humans associate with longevity and healthy aging. We have identified gene variants related to DNA replication and repair, telomere maintenance, stem cell repopulation and intercellular communication, says Dr. Maria Pascual Torna from the Universidad de Oviedo. Instead of having one key to immortality, the various mechanisms work as a whole, thus coordinating the process to ensure successful rejuvenation. T. dohrnii, however, does not live forever. In fact, the typical individual has a very short life expectancy. Nevertheless, his ability to rejuvenate makes him theoretically immortal. This work is not a search for a strategy to realize dreams of human immortality. Rather, it is an attempt to understand the processes and limits of the fascinating cellular plasticity that allows some organisms to travel through time. Based on this knowledge, we hope to find better answers to many of the diseases associated with aging. This research could inspire regenerative medicine or provide insights into age-related diseases such as cancer and neurodegenerative diseases.